Who am I? I found out that my great-great-great-granddad lost both his legs in a war in France and managed to live through it.
And who told you these stories? Did you find
My
out?
great-grandma. She just told me about her uncle, and it was quite hard because she has dementia.
As she has got dementia, was it good for her to be able to go back into the past, do you think?
Yeah, she remembers more from when she was young than
Recent.
now.
Yeah, long-term memory's better, isn't it? So do you think that brought you, was it nice to have something to talk to her about like that?
Yeah.
Oh, how did that make you feel?
It was really nice having a chance to talk to her about something that she knew really well.
For the moment, thank you very much. Excellent. I know, you did well.
Who am I? I found out that my great-granddad in World War I was awarded 3 medals. He fought in the Battle of Somme.
Who am I? Well, I've gone 5 or 6 generations back, and my great-grandmother died during the Making History project, so I found out some of the facts from her.
So was that quite special then, to have managed to get some questions before she passed away?
Yes, it was lucky we did this project right before she died, or we would have not really got much out.
Wow, I'm sorry, this is amazing.
Who am I? Well, we've been doing our whole family tree on MyHeritage, and then I couldn't really get very far at first, but now I've got my family tree and that, then I can just sort of like put them into Find My Past, and then I can get all the information about them and that.
Who am I? Yesterday I found most of it out in Find My Past, the website.
On your own? Did you get some help?
I had a bit of help.
Who's been helping you?
I'm not sure her name, but it was
Oh, in class?
Yeah.
Oh, was it Kate?
yeah.
Ah, yes, that's my wife. Good, I'm glad she's helping.
Who am I? Someone else in my family, I don't know who he's related to, but he used to work for Lord Mountbatten or something. My mum told me.
Who am I? I found out that my great-great-grandmother built the first tank.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Did you know that before?
No,
How does that make you feel?
make me feel really surprised.
Wow.
Who am I? My great-granddad survived both wars.
Both wars?
Struggling a bit to find out about my dad's side past my grandparents because they're all in Scotland. Who am I?
So maybe you can ask them some questions on the phone? And write some things down?
Yeah, but they can't hear me much.
That is a great answer.
Who am I?
And how have your parents and grandparents found it when you're asking them these questions? What?
They found it quite confusing and what's it actually for.
And then did you manage to explain what
Yeah,
you're doing?
and they said that's an interesting project.
Wow. Well, tell them they'd love to see you talking about it on the website and probably at the BFI on a big cinema screen.
Because it was quite high
We'll
pitch,
get
I
to you
could
next,
probably
Thomas.
quiet it down quite a lot in edit.
So, maybe next you guys tell me.
My sister, my twin sister. Who am I? I found that I enjoyed the most the part where you actually got to find out more about things that you didn't know.
Who am I?
Who am I? I found out my great-granddad, he died recently, but he fought in the war.
When you say recently, how recently?
Maybe 2 months ago.
Oh, really recently? Did you get to ask him some questions before?
Yeah.
And how did he feel about you asking these questions?
He didn't want to really say at first, but then he sort of just did want to really say it so it could get off his chest because he'd never told anyone before. He told me that he got shot in the leg and all his friends helped him, which he didn't expect, but he said that he might have died out there if they didn't help him.
And he's never told people as before?
No.
So did that make you feel, how did that make you feel having
That
this
made
conversation?
me feel quite special.
Oh, how special is that you got to ask him questions before he passed away? Do you feel lucky?
Yeah.
Who am I? Who am I?
I found out that my great granddad on my mum's side was in the trenches in World War One, survived, and was a colonel in World War Two, and survived both World Wars.
Well, I think that's your story, isn't it?
On my dad's side, my great-great-grandma, she was a German Jew and had to evacuate when she was very young and come to England.
Making history, what can I say?
Started in year 5, we knew nothing about our history.
Started discovering the truth, the dark truth. Dodgy bishops.
Man who built a railway across China.
I found out that my great-great-great-granddad was the captain of the Cutty
I found
Sark.
out that my great-great-granddad fought in the war and got shot in the leg, and he had to crawl 2 miles to get help.
I learned that a relative in Sweden went to the Olympics and was a fencing champion.
That during the war, my great-great-granddad escaped from Germany to England.
My great-granddad's brother invented and sold the first Lincolnshire Echo.
One of my family members used to be in a Lancaster and he used to take sandwiches up with him and eat them.
My great-great-great-great-grandfather's was Henry Bousfield, the first Bishop of Pretoria.
One of my great-great-great-grandfathers was Sir Godfrey Eaton Langton, who was a forerunner of apartheid. I'm not so proud of that.
One of my family members had to flee from China because of the revolution.
My great-great-granddad was married to 2 women at once.
My great-granddad died when he was trying to save his children from the river.
My great-granddad and my granddad are both in the Pakistani Air Force.
My great-great-uncle got hit in the head by a golf ball and he had to go to hospital, but he never woke up from his sleep.
I'm making history. We're making history. He's making history. She's making history. It's making history. Are you making history?
This is my great-great-grandma, Lucy Bray. She saw her close before the war. And when the war broke, she helped build the first tank.
My name is Ethan. I go to Nettleham Junior School and I've been working on making history projects. My family took part in this, and that's what I'm going to tell you about today.
My mum's stepdad was an evil man. No one liked him. He went on the Titanic and survived even though it crashed. My nana quoted that the only reason he survived was because he threw all the women and the children off first.
Once upon a time, in a land far, far away. Oh, stuff that! This story is true, and it's about my great-grandfather's adventures. Let's go!
This is who I'm doing my research on, and he's the centre of my story.
My great-great-grandfather was born in Beijing, in the grounds of the Emperor's Palace. His dad ran the Chinese railways. He was in charge of them, and his mum was a teacher in the palace. He lived there until he was 5, but had to flee from the country because of the Chinese Revolution. My great-grand still has lots of silverware and other artefacts inscribed in Mandarin, thanking the Hollenby family for services to China. Alan died at the age of 75 on the 29th of November 1945.
I'm so glad I was part of the Making History project. It turns out my family was way more interesting than I thought.